Is made and built for white men. So when you're going, corporate America is made and built for white men. So when you're going into corporate America, usually your entryway is to help them with their diversity problem. And so that's what I did with Ciroc. But I told them I don't work for nobody. Everything in my portfolio I own. So you guys have to know my ultimate dream is a tequila. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like I'm gonna advance this for you so then we could be good corporate America.
For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. But within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. You know that. You've made money off our culture. Let's be real.
100%.
You made money off our culture. White musicians, all of them have made money off of black culture. All of rock, all of jazz, motherfuckers, all the shit we created from the oppression and the abuse and the rape and the putting down of us. We create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, huh? We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS.
What's going on?
For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. But
hey, my true tellers, how are you guys doing? Welcome to my live Unapologetic Real Talk. As you can see where I am going with this topic, I am so glad that I done calmed myself down, because earlier, trust me, I was all in my feelings when it comes to all this stuff right here that is going on. You know, when it comes to social media, I don't know, is it, is it a beast or what is going on? But like I said, we can use anything and allow our goods to be not evil spoken of. But I see my girls in the house. Your hope, she says, good morning, Lady D. Mods chat listening from the bushes. Also, Ken's big sisters in the house says good afternoon, morning, all. So, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. And like I said, in here is real talk, unapologetic, nine buys, and we are grown folks. We're not here to tickle no one ears. We're here to stand on our truth, okay? And my truth may not be your truth, but I'm pretty sure that it have plenty of channels out there that's going to go ahead and accommodate you all, okay? So let me go ahead and load the music down. And this right here is Let's Talk. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drop the link. So if anyone wants to come up and you guys want to go ahead and talk about certain topics that is going on when it comes to our people, feel free, feel free to come on board and talk about it. Like I said, in here is grown folks. We don't have time to pacify anyone. We here to stand on our truth. And as you can see right here by the title, it says, are we a part of the problem or the part of a solution? And when it comes to our people, it is just so much stuff that is going on, and we can keep pointing a finger at Dottie Squatty and everybody, but sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. Okay. So I went ahead and dropped the link. So if anyone wants to come on, you are welcome to come in. Okay. So before I get into all this right here, let me go ahead and do my disclaimer. Okay. So the disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. And guys, you should know me about now when it comes to my commentary. I always goes for the underdog, especially when it comes to our people, which I call some of them some silly sheep. Some of us going to be left behind because we have the problem of always trying to mimic our oppressors. But just like I said, we have to come out of her. So as you can see right here, we're going to talk about some generational strongholds. Man, God, this right here, I mean, it's just have taken a toll on us. We would think, like we have the blueprint because of our forefathers that went ahead and paved the way for us, like a Malcolm X and a Marcus Garvey. So many of our leaders went ahead and they paved the way. The blueprint is already there. But the thing about it is that we feel that, we don't have to listen to anyone. Yes, you do have to listen to someone. Okay. I don't care who it is. You're going to have to listen to someone. But it looked like we are, it's like we're trying to go ahead and do our things. We're trying to trying to mimic our oppressors. And this right here, when it comes to strongholds, it's like brainwash. Grown folks brainwash. I mean, when are we going to shake off of these grave clothes and come out of her? It's a strong grip that is on our people, and you're not going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it at all. Because like I said, it's time for us to shake off of these grave clothes, and it's time to come out of her. Okay. So like I said, I went ahead and I dropped the link. So if anyone wants to come on and you want to talk about it, you are welcome to talk about it, because I mean, it's just like a punch in the gut how we can see how we are quick to put our foot on our own people. But yet, when it comes to other people, like the power that be, what do? We take our head and we stick it in the sand. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. And the thing about it, they're not going to talk about it as well. I was on social media and I was just strolling on down. Everything is about P. Diddy. And I'm not giving him excuse. I'm not giving him a excuse at all. But I was sitting there saying, everything is about P. Diddy. Anyone that attached with him, just say they went to his white parties or whatever the thing that he was doing, they want to sit there and say, oh, they were a part of the freak party as well. And the thing about it is that it's all our freaking people. And I'm trying to get out my feelings, guys. I'm trying to calm myself down. But this right here is too much. This right here, it got to stop. I promise you. As I was coming on this morning, I was listening to a song by Leandra. What's her name? Leandra Johnson. Leandra Johnson. She was singing this song called Deliver Me. And what stood out the most is that there's a hole in your soul. There's a hole in your soul. And when she say, Lord, deliver me, because all I seems to do is hurt me. And as she was saying that right there, it brought tears to my eyes. I say, Lord, this right here, it lines up because there's a hole in our soul. And the thing about it is that hurt people hurt people. And if you think that you're coming on today, to get your ears tickled, to talk about these reality shows, this is not the day. This is not the day. This is the day where God is sitting there saying, I am sick and tired of my people. Now I understand when Moses was telling the Most High God, he said, God, do you think that I'm supposed to hold these grown people under my breast? Should I continue nursing these people? I want to pull out that scripture coming out of Numbers 11:11. And also, I saw another scripture. Some came to mind. And like I say, when I look at the Bible, I don't look at the Bible as some pre-ancient stories, which I tell you guys all the time, because I truly believe that the word is alive and is inside of me. It's inside of me. I also was listening to my girl Misbehaving. Go ahead and check out her channel. She had dropped a live. I think I went ahead and pinned it, so you guys can go ahead and see when she was talking about this pastor, Keon. I think his name is Keon Henderson, and the name of the title was "The Pulpit Pimps Pastor Keon Henderson." And also, she went ahead and she talked about, she heard that some people say about, there's hell on earth. Yes, that's where hell at. That's where hell at. Do you think that hell is what the crafty counselors told you, that it was in the bottom of some ground? No, hell is right here on earth. Right here on earth. Don't let these people sit there telling you, just like they telling you, oh, in order for you to sit there and have the cattle on top of the earth, the hills, the cattle on top of the hills, that you got to die to have it. No, they ain't dying to have it. They're not waiting for something to pop out of the sky and drop down into their lap. They're not waiting for that. They would tell you to keep looking up to the sky, not knowing that the Messiah is right amongst us. The Messiah, the God, is right amongst us. And what we doing? We are helping tear our own people down. And we are wondering, we sat there and say how we was able to sit there and worship this blue-eyed hippie that's sitting on some of our walls today, is because we are helping these people tearing down our own people. We are helping our oppressors to tear down our own people. So when we talk about the Antichrist, the rise of the Antichrist, yes, he's going to come white. And the reason why he's going to raise up, because you tearing down your own people. I know you don't want to hear this, but God say, tell it to him anyhow. He said, because they are some stiff-necked people. Now I understand when there's a scripture, when it said that Jesus was arrested, which, like I said, we are telling our story right now. They don't want to see the rise of the Black Messiah. So they gonna give you these hocus pocus stories because they ran before time, these crafty counselors. But when you read the story about how the people chose a murderer, chose Barnabas because they didn't want it the Messiah. We're still doing it today. We're still doing it today. And what hurt me most is right here. This what hurts me the most right here. This hurts me the most right here. When I read right here in my neck of the woods, 45 minutes away from where I am, there is a lawsuit against the Catholic churches. But it's not just in my neck of the woods. It's all over. We had children come out, babies, talking about how these priests sitting there had molested these kids. We talked about this. I mean, videos after videos after videos. We talked about this. And you still sending your babies to these slaughterhouses. But nobody say nothing about it. Nobody talks about stuff like that. And nobody talk about this. Oh, you better not say nothing about this right here. Let's go ahead because see, we got these silly sheep. You know, our people are some silly sheep. Yes, we want to go around and call P. Diddy the dealer, the diddler, call him the devil. No, the real devil. Let me show you. Let me show you. You can't talk about this right here. You can't talk about this right here. When Candy was sitting there talking about tearing down her people and this Black Lives Matter stuff and all the stuff that was going on, it was all right. But when the minute when she sat there and said, I'm going to talk about them, they shut her down. They shut her down. When Colin Kaepernick saw so much stuff that was going on, and when he started taking a kneel, start not even kneeling down to the flag, not kneeling down. He wanted his own people to come in unity. The minute when they sat there and said, if you sat there and you bow down with him, we gonna sit there and cut you off. Not knowing that this right here is a small group of people. We don't die, we multiply. We are not the minority, we are the majority. But we let a little small race sit there and tuck us into a corner. But when it comes to our own people, we just like with the Bible, how they will say, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. And like I said there and say, y'all can unsubscribe, y'all can do whatever you want to do. But see me, I am set apart. I don't jump from channels to channels to channels. When the Most High God tell me to say something, I'm going to say it. So don't come on here and tell me, oh, he did this, he did that. Well, what about what the hell they did? We had a freaking underground turner in the synagogue in New York. And they didn't say a god doggone thing about it. You didn't hear a pin drop about it. You saw baby chairs, you saw mattresses, but you also saw them interfering in the investigation. You saw policemen just standing there. You didn't see a whole freaking army coming into that place and sitting there tearing it down with all types of guns. You didn't see none of that. And right here, you sitting there seeing inside of a underground turner in a synagogue, and you don't do no freaking investigation on that. And like I said there and say, don't come with me with no freaking P. Diddy or anything that our stupid silly sheeps do until we get to the real issue, the real puppet masters behind all this. The real puppet masters. Just look at it. Look at it. All these underground turners and stuff like that, secret underground turners found under the synagogues right here in New York. Nobody said a freaking thing about it. Everybody wants to talk about when the black man slipped. You ain't nothing but a bunch of devils You're not worrying about setting that, finding a solution. You're not worrying about, oh, there are pedophiles out there. You're not worrying about that. Because if you was really worrying about that, then you will get to the head. You will go to the head. But no, you're not going to touch that. You're not going to touch that because you are part of the problem. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. Look how they coming out of the holes, sitting there tampering. You didn't see no army style military trucks around there. Look at it. You saw policemen just standing there. But like I said there and say, miss me with the bull. Miss me with the bull. Because like I said, I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat you. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. Let's go ahead and talk about this right here. Because it's time to wake the hell up out our people and say enough is enough. Let's go ahead and talk about this right here. And like I said, I don't have nothing against no Taylor Swift. I don't listen to her music. I don't even listen to Beyonce music. But I know what's right and I know what's wrong. Now let's go ahead and look at some Taylor Swift right now. Taylor Swift, she's sitting there. He putting her up on a pedestal, out there sitting there giving $5 million to donations to the hurricane victims. Just announced that she is one of the, well, she is the most, sold the most records and the billionaire. She's a billionaire now. She done beat Rihanna, Beyonce. She's a billionaire. Nobody is not going to touch her money. Nobody is not going to touch nothing that she do. And like I said, I don't watch her that much, but according to some of the comments that I did read, she don't sing that good. And I'm just sitting there saying, allegedly, according to what they said, she can't dance. They say she tried to twerk or whatever they be doing. Couldn't do that. And all this money came not because of other endorsements, and I'm gonna say allegedly because I didn't really do research, like all the extra stuff that you see Beyonce got to ride on a white horse and got to do all this extra stuff. They don't have to put in the work. They don't have to do that much. All they have to do is just continue being who they are because they got the skin for the protection. But Letty would have been one of us. They had announced on the Forbes that they had made $1 billion, really not even putting in that much of a work. If it would have been us, our own people would have been tearing them down. Our own people would have been tearing them down. But you see, stuff like that, you're not going to talk about it because we were conditioned to only tear down each other. That's why we can make thousands and thousands of videos about what's going on when it comes to P. Diddy, his parties. I don't sit there right now, guys. I'm not going to sit here and tell you no lie. I went ahead and purchased 3 books. 3 books of women that was in the Playboy Mansion. One of them was married to Hugh Hefner. Go and get the book. Go and get the book. I'm gonna get back to you, Candace Owens. But go get the book. I'm reading now of The Playground by Jennifer Siganar. It called The Childhood Lost. Let me see. The book is in my room. You can see it right here. The Childhood Lost in the Playboy Mansion. Also, I got another book called Krista Hefner. She was the one that was married to Hugh Hefner, calling Only Say Good Things. Before he died, he told Krista, only say good things about him, surviving the Playboy and finding myself. And there's another one, very crucial, called Down the Rabbit Hole by Holly Madison. If you knew the things that this man used to do, this man also used to watch, according, and I'm going to say allegedly, watch these women. He freaked off of bestiality. He didn't even want to see what was natural anymore. He didn't get off of what natural anymore because he can get that a dime a dozen. He was into bestiality, and I'm gonna say allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, according to the books that I'm reading right now. But this man, Hugh Hefner, he got to die. He got to die with his legacy intact. These women was like a freaking machine. All types of politics, all of politicians, entertainers, athletes, kings was at the Playboy Mansion. Get the book. I can't make this up if I want to. This girl right here, Jennifer Signer, was only 6 years old. Her father was the doctor because if the women get beat up, drugged up, whatever happened, they don't go to the hospitals. They had an inside doctor that they call him Mr. Feel Good, all the Quaaludes. Where you think Bill Cosby got all that stuff from? Like I said there and say, our people just silly sheep. Our people just puppet masters. But the real masterminders behind all that, you give them a pass. You give them a pass. This girl was 6 years old, was being groomed. 6 years old being groomed inside of the Playboy Mansion. So many different networks, people, big networks read the book. But you didn't see nobody sitting there saying, oh, we're going to go ahead and cancel Playboy. And most of our silly sheets, they mimic off of stuff like that. They sponge off of stuff like that. But let them sit there and call themselves setting up a Playboy Mansion inside of their home. We're going to sit there and we're going to nail them to the cross. Like I said there and say, we live in a world that loves its own. If they want to go out there and freak whatever they're doing and they grown-ups in their own house, that's their business. Like I said there and say, what Sean Combs did to Cassidy, that was wrong. But that's not freaking fair. That's not a fair charge. Whenever you are ever seen someone beat up somebody and you see a freaking military army goes into their home. Guys, I'm upset. I'm upset. Let me reel this in. Let me reel it in. I'm upset. Our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Like I said there and say, we pick and choose. We pick and choose what we want to go ahead and talk about. That's why I stand alone. I stand alone. When I see the world goes one way, I go the other way. Because we pick and choose. Because we was conditioned. We were conditioned to tear down each other. And it's so sad. It's so sad. Let me calm myself down. It is so sad how we sit there and we mimic our oppressors while we sitting there tearing down each other. And I know you guys not used to this type of talking. And the reason why you all not used to this type of talking because we have fallen from our first love. We have fallen so far where we really don't even know who we are. Because if we know who we are, then we would know that all this stuff that we tearing each other behind, it's already ours. Not knowing, just like I showed you a small clip, the reason why they came on Sean Combs, he did a lot of stuff. Yes, he did a lot of stuff, but we all did a lot of stuff. And the ones that I'm showing you most likely did more than what Sean had done. But when he started waking up and telling these people that they cannot control his brand, then they wanted to come against him. Let's go ahead and play it again.
Is made and built for white men. So when you're going into corporate America, usually your entryway is to help them with their diversity problem.
And let's go ahead and stop that. When he said that corporate America is made just for white men, was he lying? No, he wasn't lying. But the thing about it is that corporate America would not exist without you, because you are the lifeline to everything that exists. They could not do crap without you. They can't do crap without you, because you are the lifeline. Tell me one thing that they ever did without riding off of your back. Tell me right now. All the music, all these entertainers, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, I can go on and on and on. In the music industry, they go to you. Use your gifts and make it evil spoken of. Why we can't own our own stuff? Why we got to have their labels? Why we can't have our own music industry? We got billionaires. We don't have to go to their record companies. And the minute when you want out of it, they sit there and they got something on you. Where the minute when you sit there and you buck against a prick, they going to rip you apart. You either going to be in prison or you're going to be 6 feet under. They only can die in their legacy. They only can die in their legacy. But the minute when you sign your name on the dotted line, they think they own you, because they know if they let you go, then they're going to suffer. Don't you know? If we stay home right now, just say if we stay home right now, don't even go to corporate America jobs, they will collapse. They will collapse. That's why you see right now the entire world is waking up, except a few silly sheeps, except us. The entire world around us, South Africa, India, Russia, all these countries are waking up. Don't you know right now the dollar is about to not worth nothing? But you guys don't want to hear that, because we are blinded. We are sheeps that's blinded because of the things of this world. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up? Everybody have rolled off our back. Everybody was able to eat except us. And the minute when we sit there and we say, okay, I will help you build a house. I will help you furnish the house. Just let me eat just the crumbs at the bottom of your feet. And the minute when you take a little extra more, they're going to sit there and they're going to take their foot and they're going to crush you after you done did all that. Let's go ahead and play some more.
That's what I did with Ciroc. But I told him I don't work for nobody. Everything in my portfolio I own. So you guys have to know my ultimate dream is a tequila. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm going to advance this for you so then we could be good. Corporate America is made and built for white men. So
let's go ahead and let's stop it right here. And if we know that, Why are we still playing on the devil's playground? If we know exactly what the consequences and the repercussions going to be, why are we keep dipping and dabbing on these people playground? That's why I sit there and say we are grown people, but we have a childlike mind. We have a childlike mind. When are we going to wake the hell up? When are we going to wake up? When are we going to come out of this? We already know exactly how these people play the game. These people never changed. They still got the same blueprint, and we still falling with the same okie dokie. Why? Why? And the thing about it, when it comes to celebrities, we got to keep our eyes off of celebrities and these athletes. We got to keep our eyes off of them. It's not all about celebrities. Don't you know that's also you guys quick to go and call people witchcraft? Go and do some research when it comes to Hollywood. That's witchcraft by itself. That was part of the illusion. All this right here is acting. All this right here is acting. We busting our neck to get in to be a part of this. When these people use all this imagery, even the white Jesus, they use all this to sit there and play a cheap trick on us. And we still falling for the same okie dokie. All the stuff, it's all a part of acting. This acting. They are acting. And you guys are falling for it. And they're not going to change the game because it's working. The system work. Like I said, this is all about power, principalities, rulers in high places. And you keep sitting there saying, well, we're ready to come out. No, you're not. You keep saying, you're ready to come out. No, you're not. Because if you were ready to come out, all you had to do is shut the door. Well, D, it's not easy. Yes, it is easy. If we can raise freaking almost $2 million less than 2 hours, so in a minute, Kamala Harrison. So in a minute, she sat there and said she was running for president. She called her sorority sisters, and they all came to her beck and called. And just imagine what they have raised right now in a short period of time. So miss me with the BS that we don't have money in our community, because we do. We only spend it of what interests us. We say that we ready to see our people come out what I call a state of Lodabar. But are you really ready? Because if you was really ready, then you will pour money back into your own community. You will stop sitting there trying to fit in when God already has separated you. Say, come from out of her. Be ye separated. But we can't leave them alone. We can't leave them alone. So that's why we keep going around and round and round and round in circles until somebody sit there and say, okay, enough is enough. It's keep passing down from generations to generations to generations. And we still falling for it. Why? Let's go ahead and play some more.
When you're going into corporate America, usually your entryway is to help them with their diversity problem. And so that's what I did with Ciroc. But I told them I don't work for nobody. Everything in my portfolio I own. So you guys have to know my ultimate dream is a tequila. So it's like you make a deal. You make a deal like, I'm going to advance this for you so then we could be good partners and you can give me what I want, which is for me to own my brand and to be able to build generational wealth for my kids and my people.
And see, when you talk about generational wealth, that is like kryptonite to these people. Talk about generational wealth. to a white person, and not it's not white people. Let me go ahead and retract that. It's the ones that I showed you, the power that be, the greedy people. Because like I said there and say, it's not all people. It's just that they are privileged because of what was laid in their hands. But the thing about it is that we are the ones that the Most High God has set on top of the hills. We are the ones that God had called the apple of his eyes. So why are we keep going down like the chickens wallowing into their mess when God already sat there and say everything that you need right around us? They come into your community. And you keep sitting there, you falling for it as if you need these people. You don't. You don't. All you need to do is wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Now I understand. Let me go ahead and read this right here. I understand exactly what the scripture means. When they say Moses had an anger problem. It's not that Moses had an anger problem. Moses was sick and tired of these people, just like the Most High God. The Most High God, he was sick and tired of us as well. Where he even regret even making man. But now he said and say they're going to end up destroying themselves anyway, because now we're making robots and making all this other stuff, and sooner or later, it's going to take over. So like I said, if you think that heaven and earth, if you think that earth right here is going to be destroyed, no, you're going to end up destroying yourself. But let me go ahead and read this right here. This is coming out the NIV Bible of Numbers 11, chapter 11, verse 11 through 15. This right here is Moses, and I'm reading out the NIV Bible. You read out whatever Bible that you want, because like I say, when it comes to the word should be in you. All you have to do is just open your mouth, okay? But right here in verse 11, Moses had asked the Lord, why have you brought this trouble on your servant? So Moses had asked the Lord, you telling me, it's time for our people to come out what I call the state of Lodabar, but these some stiff-necked people. What have I done to displease you? Because he sat there and said, I'm living right. I'm a righteous man, He said, what have I done to you, God, that displease you, that you put the burden of all these people on me? Did I conceive all these people? So he sat there saying, God, I'm a man, did I gave birth to these people? Did I give birth to them? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carrying an infant to the land you promised an oath to their ancestors? So right there, if you're sitting there saying God does not talk, yes, the Most High God do talk. The only reason why you don't hear it because you're so busy trying to do things yourself. But Moses had a talk with the Most High God. And he asked the God, he said, you telling me to leave these people out of a state of Lodabar? He said, these people are stiff-necked. These people, they just do too much. Do you want me to hold them, as a mother nurses a baby? Do you want me to keep nursing these people? He said, did I conceive them? Did I give birth to them? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carrying an infant to the land you promised an oath to their ancestors? What can I get? Where can I get meat for all these people? They keep whining to me. Give us meat to eat. I cannot carry all these people by myself. The burden is too heavy for me. These people are whining, asking God, want to live like the Joneses, and inside living like the Walters, and like a P. Diddy, God then gave you so much, but you want to go out there and you want to squander it with the world. And soon in a minute, you get yourself trapped in stuff like this. Then you sitting there, you want to cry and you want to whine. And this is too much. This is too much. When we know that some of this stuff we are not ready for. We're too greedy. Get what you can handle. We are going right now into a famine. There's going to be a drought. The money that you sitting there, you partying, you throwing on strippers and sitting there swallowing with the world, you're gonna need that. So now they complaining to God. Oh God, I want to eat meat. God, no, you're not ready to sit there become billionaires. You praying right now for God to make you rich. Instead of asking God, God, give me love. Make my heart meekness. Give me patience. But what we crying for? We crying to sit there and live like the Joneses. And so in a minute, we start living like the Joneses, we lose our freaking mind. Right here, he says, where can I get the meat for all these people? They keep welling to me. Give us meat to eat. I cannot carry all these people by myself. The burden is too heavy. If this is how you are going to treat me, please go ahead and kill me. Moses wanted the Most High God to take him out. Don't you know our own people can make you so depressed? And you wondering why every leaders that the Most High God has given to us, they fell on the wayside. Some of them just couldn't handle it, threw it in the tower. And the ones that was able to sit there and go through it, we sat there and we helped side with the enemy to take them out. Not knowing this right here, this is a job. It's not easy sitting there trying to tell our people to come out of this sunken place. Especially when we are conditioned to the things of this world. We are brainwashed. He said, this is how you are going to treat me? Please go ahead and just kill me. If I have found favor in your eyes, and do not let me face my own ruins. So he was sick and he was tired. Aren't you sick and tired? Every time when you turn on the news, every time when you turn on social media and watch these content creators, how they sitting there, they get a fix. They get turned on when they see one of our brothers or sisters fall. What happened to, am I my brother's keeper? When my brother hurt, my sister hurt, you should hurt. Because you don't see the bigger picture. Oh, you seen that this guy's a no good person. This guy did this to that person. But it's much bigger than AP Diddy. It's much bigger than the ones that we putting our foot down. It's much bigger than the ones that we putting their head on a silver platter and handing it over to them. It's much bigger. Because I promise you, they are not going to do anything when it comes to their people. I sat there and I watched a white girl and I talked to her. She only has maybe 12, I'm going to say 24. She have 24 videos that she made, all shorts. She made 24 videos and every last one of them is about P. Diddy. And every last video that she made went viral. And that's all she talks about. I sit there and say, why just P. Diddy, Oh, he's a monster. He's a devil. He's evil. I said, well, what about Hugh Hefner? What about all the stuff that we saw last year or the year before in New York? The underground turners that they had in a synagogue. What about all that stuff? Did you read all the articles that's going on? How, there's a class action lawsuit when it comes to some of the Catholic churches? How most of the kids finally come out and saying how they were molested? What about all that? Where do you think all that came from? You know why we don't talk about stuff like that? She couldn't say anything. She couldn't say anything because we were only conditioned to tear down our own people. They always demonized us. They always demonized us. And we demonize ourselves. We hate who we are. That's why we can bleach. We can spend trillions of dollars a year on hair products to look like them because we don't take the time to educate ourselves. Like I say, when it comes to our people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Long as we being entertained, bucking and cooning, we good. Long as we sitting here arguing who going to be the next president of the United States, we sound just like them old slave movies. Them same old slave movies that I used to watch. Oh, Massa about to sit there and he about to have a big party. Oh, we got the dress. Oh, what should I wear, Missy? I got to wear this, Missy. Because Massa is giving a party. I want to be. Not knowing you just watching on the outside. Watching from your TV. Because most likely just a very hand few, and you can count them like a fly in a bowl of milk gonna be there. We bust our necks for stuff like that. It's just now that we are in the 21st century, but ain't nothing no change. It's just, nothing no change. We still hoodwink and bamboozle. And we're going to continue until we sit there and say enough is enough. Until we say enough is enough. But who going to draw the line? Because we dip and dab in the things of this world. So in a minute we sit there and we see success when it comes to our black people. That's why sometimes it's best to not even say anything. Because the minute when you start showing them what you're doing, it's your own people. We got to tear them down. But the minute when you tear them down, you're not going to get anything. They're going to use you to tear them down, but I promise you ain't going to get anything out of it. They going to have their own that look like them. That's who going to get the money or whatever they need. They just going to use you to just open the door for them. But you ain't going to get nothing out of it. That money going to be poured back into their community. But you ain't going to get nothing out of it. I promise you won't. But all I'm just sitting there saying, guys, it's time for us to wake the hell up. And until they do right by us and have the playing field even, then like I said, you think I'm gonna help them do their job? No. Let them do their own job. That's what they get paid for. Oh, well, he did this, he did that. So did them. So did them. The entire America was built off the backs of blood, sweat, off of a freaking lie. Like I said, they didn't say the foundation is corrupt. Let these people do their job. That's what they put laws in place. This is what I call, just like what Sean Combs' mother called it, a public lynching. And the reason why it's a public lynching, because we don't let the law play out. We don't let justice play out. We're not about justice. We talk about, this is about justice. Well, if it's about justice, then make it justice for all. Start with the head. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing them dying with their legacy intact. Like I said, the biggest pimp, the biggest devil, it was not no Sean Combs. He just was sponging off of something that he had no business. But the biggest pimp was Hugh Hefner. Read the books, guys. Read the books. And like I said there and say, don't come on my platform. If you want to sit there, you got a channel, start your channel, but don't come on your platform and sit there and say, oh, but he did this, he did that. Yeah, I know what he did. You know what he did too. But I also know what other people done. Just like I said there and I talked about this young guy, this young black guy want to leave 40 acres to his son. They all talking about that. Oh, you don't know about him. Oh, you need to go and do research about him. See, everything about research about our people. Our people can't sit there and win for losing. Can't win for losing. I already know the system does not work for us. When I sat there the minute, I saw the former president of the United States with 34 charges on him, convicted charges, and still can run for the president of the United States. So I say, hell with that. We got our brothers right now can't even put food on their table because they got a felony, one felony. And this man got 34 felony charges, convicted of 34, and can still run for the chief of commandment of the United States. Why? Like I say, the system is not designed for them. The system is only designed for you. All these prisons that you see that is being built, it was not designed for them. It was designed for you. Because it's an industry. It's just modern day slavery. They don't go after the older people. They go after the younger kids. Because like I say, it's a business. I was listening to a content creator when she talked about her child is in prison. How they wanted to get him out and send him somewhere to some training camp because they felt that they was underweighted. What's going on? What they feeding their kids? Why they so invested in that? Let these kids sit there instead of you worrying about their weight. Make sure that they get their mind together so they won't go out and do the same things that they did before. It's a business, guys. It's a $1 billion, $1 trillion business. All this is a business. But the thing about we don't see it. We hollering we want to see justice. How the hell you want to see justice when most of the stuff right there in your own house? And you don't even talk about the stuff like that. It's in your own house, in your own neighborhood. Clean up that first. The Bible say clean behind your own back door before you try to clean somebody else. The only reason why you're so invested in that because you idolize celebrities. And the minute when we see one of them slip, we dare to sit there and help these people do their job, put our foot on their neck. That's just to show you guys, we got a long ways to go. We got a long ways to go. Hey, country girl. Yes. And Mildred, my girl Mildred. I see Edna say, absolutely, let the court handle it. Our people have to jump on the hate train on other black people because we hate ourselves. This right here, what you see self-hate. That's why I said there and said, well, Master don't have to do anything anymore. All old Master have to do is just sit down and just watch us because we are now, like I say, it's embedded in us to tear down each other. We were conditioned to do that. This is what I call a Willie Lynch syndrome. We said now we worrying about the white man. No, you better worry about your own people because it's not going to be the ones on the outside. It's going to be the ones that's on the inside. Your own people is your worst foes. Those are the real enemies that you have to keep your eyes on because there's a lot of self-hate. Sugar Brown says, I'm glad the rap culture is being exposed. It's ruined so many in the culture. And like I said, it's not just the rap culture because like I said, music is in our soul. It's just that we allowed it to be evil spoken of because we want to sit there and we want to hand our pearls to these wicked people and allow our gifts to be evil spoken of. So that's why we could call anything, especially when it's a part of our culture, we can call it evil because we were conditioned Anything that we do is evil, but yet they profit off of that. They profit off of rap music. They got our people sitting there doing some very grimy stuff. We got to get down dirty in order for us to sit there and put food on our table. But we got a Taylor Swift. All she have to do is just show up. Show up. And every time when she show up, the dollars, I mean, she cashing in the dollars. And they going to support that because they support their own. But in order for our people to sit there to do what she's doing, they wants to see blood. They wants to see blood. Hey, Temper. Sugar Brown said, I was watching the same clip from the young Dolphin murder trial, and one of those kids ruined his entire life for $800, an illusion of being a gangster. Like I say, it's all part of the system. All part of the system. That's why you need to go ahead and get that book, Hebrews to Negroes. They told you guys, don't read it. They don't want you to read stuff like that because they don't want you to wake up. Like I said, you will be surprised. You will be surprised the stuff that our people went through. This right here, this is what I call hell. But we can come out of this. And the only way that we can come out of this, because we are not going nowhere. We've been here over billions of years. Don't let these people sit there and tell you something is going to pop out of the sky, because the Son of Man is right here amongst us. We just need to stop sitting there tearing down our people. We can make it because we've been here over billions of years and we're not going nowhere because we are Alpha and Omega. We're not going nowhere. But they are, because they are our Lord self. They are our Lord self, but we are not going nowhere because when we go out there, the sun basks in our glory, basks in our skin, our melanated skin, you know? Oh, God have mercy. This is a lot. Edna say, preach, we are the true Jews, Hebrews, Israelites. Absolutely. We are God's chosen people. We are the original, his chosen people. They went around naming and claiming everything. That's why we don't even know who we are. They gave us their name. They the one went around and drawing maps, naming and claiming everything. Go and do your research. You'll be surprised the stuff that you find out. Like I say, the rabbit hole goes very deep. The rabbit hole goes very, very deep. They are the ones that brought the confusion. They are the ones that divided and conquered. And we are the ones set there and let them because we don't know who we are. We thinking that, oh, it was the pow-pows and that allowed us to be in the state that we are in. No. We fixated over white power. We fixated because, oh, it looks beautiful. Blue eyes, something different. We fixated. Why we got our young kids? So in a minute they start making a little money. Where they go? They don't pour that money back into their community. We plant, we water, we groom them. We see them all the way through. But once they make it, shoot, they go and grab Becky with the blue eyes or whatever you guys want to call them. And do you think that money gonna be poured back like a what's his name, Kobe Bryant? You think that money gonna be poured back into the black community? No, it ain't gonna be poured back into the black community, and that's real talk. So, guys, on that note, I didn't realize. I mean, time passes so fast, but I'm good now. But oh my God, I was just so upset. I was just so upset, but I'm good now. You know, it's just that I just had to go ahead and get this out. But it's just a lot of self-hate, you know, and we got to do a little better. And I like what Sugar Brown said. Yes, the planet is doing a self-cleansing. and we just got to wake up, because of not, we just gonna keep passing it down from generation to generation until the Most High God say enough is enough. And on that note, guys, I'll talk to you guys later, and you all be blessed.